Hey guys, Dark Skeleton here to continue the Terraria tutorial series. Last time we went into the corruption. You can see it right up there actually. And we broke open a few of those floating orbs. Spawned the Eater of Worms boss. I was originally planning on actually defeating it there, but for demonstration purposes I kept it in the video, showed that if you fight him under the wrong circumstances it's very easy to get destroyed, and you definitely need items like a Vile Thorn. But I noticed while I was down there that right under the corruption area in this world was actually the ice area. And the thing about the ice caverns is that they're very open. It's actually able to traverse it really easily. And that means since you're underground, you can easily collect life crystals. Already in the little bit of time I've been talking in this video, I've collected 3 life crystals, which means my health's gone up from 140 to 200. And that's a huge difference, especially when you're fighting these bosses. Having as much HP as possible really helps you survive, obviously. So, actually going down into the ice caves before you really take on the Eater of Worlds or the Brain of Cthulhu is a pretty smart idea, actually. You can even argue it's a good idea to do it before you fight the, the Eye of Cthulhu. Though, if you know how to fight it with shurikens, you don't really need the extra health. I do think that for the Eater of Worlds or Brain of Cthulhu, it's important to have that extra life, though, because those bosses can hit you a lot easier than the other ones, or at least than the Eye of Cthulhu. So going into the ice caverns and finding these life crystals is going to make a big difference. So, yeah, aside from the life crystals, though, while you're down here, you can find some ice chests, which will contain things like, in this case, I believe I found ice skates, which let you move really easily on all of this ice and snow, and that makes moving around in here a little bit less of a pain. Watch out for the dart traps, obviously. There, I got hit by the same one like 3 times. And but yeah, the main reason you really want to go to the ice caverns, in my mind now, after having experienced this, is clearly to get the life crystals. If you can double your HP, that will make a ridiculous amount of difference, especially if you're kind of new to the game and you may not be the best at dodging attacks yet. Then finding these life crystals, which are very abundant, apparently, down here in the ice caverns, is really going to help you out. But as far as the ice chests go, you can also find things like an ice sword in there, which, once you've actually beaten a boss and crafted yourself something like the Lightsbane sword, isn't quite as good, but the ice sword, I think it has about 10 or 12 damage, and it's unique, for this point in the game at least, in that it will actually fire projectiles when you swing it. So it's not a bad weapon to get. You can decide in the order you really want to do things, but it is really easy to just skip over the ice area. As we did in the second tutorial, I just went and jumped down into the lower levels of the standard dirt and stone mining caves, found a bunch of iron ore, found a bunch of gold, and that's probably about on par with what you can find in the ice caves. That said, I didn't find enough life crystals, so that's what I needed, and with these life crystals, we'll be able to easily, relatively speaking easily, take out the Eater of the Worlds and the Brain of Cthulhu. Now, as I mentioned before, you want to get a Vile Thorn for the Eater of Worlds. You get that out of the little orbs that you can find in the corruption. Hopefully you get one before you spawn the boss. The reason it's so good is that it's a multi-target AoE spell. It's actually in a line, which is perfect because the worm moves in a line just like other worms in the game. Likewise, if you're in a world that has the Brain of Cthulhu, if you can find one of the, I believe it's called the Crimson Rod, out of the hearts that spawn the Brain of Cthulhu, that will help a lot in that fight, because the brain is constantly teleporting around, has a ton of floating eyeballs which like to congregate under it, and having those raindrops just drizzle on its head is actually very good for fighting it. The raindrops, the cloud, is actually a summon. I think it's the first summon you can get in the game. And the thing about summon weapons is that even if you're not specialized in summons, you can always have one summon out. They last a long time, so there's really no reason not to have a summon. So just having that cloud drizzle overhead will do a lot of extra damage against that boss. Now, if you can't manage to find enough life crystals, making regeneration potions is another good answer to boss fights, because it will just keep you healthy all the time. It won't matter that you don't have enough max HP, because your HP will just be regenerating quickly. So, I've been Dark Skeleton. Next time, we're actually going to go pop open these orbs again, spawn another Eater of Worlds boss, and take him out this time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.